I'm James. We're here at Copthall Green Tunnel, where we've just completed the construction of Copthall Tunnel itself. And behind me, you can see the works that are still ongoing to complete the embankment and noise barrier works over to West Ruislip. Copthall Tunnel is really important for this project because it's part of our approach to managing the muck and the arisings from the tunnelling process. When we constructed Northolt Tunnels, there was a vast amount of muck arising from that process, predominantly London clay, and that has been reprocessed and positioned on top of Copthall Tunnel to avoid it having to be transported off-site. This is part of our wider strategy for managing the muck arisings from the tunnelling process. As well as being more cost-effective as a way of constructing the Northolt tunnels, it's also allowed us to remove about 100,000 vehicle movements from the local roads.
Copthall Tunnel is an 880 metre cut and cover tunnel. The tunnel was completed with the last pour in December 2025. At its widest, it's 16 metres wide, 12 metres high. As we go further into the tunnel, it's 30 metres below ground level. The Copthall Tunnel was built using a factory ethos delivery method, where we delivered 32,000 tonnes of steel and 75,000 cube of concrete. The tunnel was built with a travelling formwork and falsework system. We did this in 20 metres bays, which is how you can see the curve of the alignment of the tunnel behind me. There are 5 vent shafts which allow this tunnel to be naturally ventilated. They're up to 17 metres deep.
So just adjacent to Copthall Tunnel, we have the West Ruislip Railhead. That's an essential piece of infrastructure for the project. We've done the piling works, completed the capping beam, and we're now in the process of re-levelling and regrading the land and reprofiling the embankment. In simple terms, the railhead is the access point by which our rail systems contractors will bring materials from the conventional railway onto the HS2 trace to allow them to fit out the tunnels and the HS2 trace in the permanent state. We still have some works to finish at West Ruislip, including the noise barrier construction. These are acoustic barriers that prevent excessive noise from reaching local residents.
We started these in April, and there were over 580 of these barriers to install. These are being installed with cranes with luffer jibs that lift and rotate them, ready to be installed laterally into the prefabricated reinforcement beams. The Southern Sustainable Placement Area was developed using the lime-treated material from the Northolt tunnels. Over 1.2 million cubes was created by the excavation of the Northolt tunnels. A significant amount went over into the sustainable placement area, with the remaining being treated and being placed as structural fill over the Copthall Tunnel. So we've planted over 75,000 trees in the Northern Sustainable Placement and finished off all landscaping works in the Southern Sustainable Placement. In the next landscaping season, which will be Q4 this year, we'll be concentrating on planting above the Copthall Tunnel, which will take approximately 2 years, all the way till 2028. In completing the Northern Sustainable Placement Area, we've also created 40 hectares of new habitat.
Last year, we had one of our most productive years ever. We've got another big year on the cards this year as well. We've made great progress in terms of constructing the civils works, reprofiling the embankment, and constructing the parapet wall. We'll be ready to hand over to rail systems after that.